Woke up, it's a beautiful day. Got a fresh pair of J's and I'm out to get paid. Came from the bottom, gotta find a new way. And I think it's gonna start today. Hey, when life get crazy and shit be going wrong, I take the time out to put words.
On this episode of The Swag Science, we have the big, highly anticipated featherweight championship bout between champion Orlando Salido and Mikey Garcia. What makes this bout real interesting is because it's been a long time coming for Mikey Garcia to finally step up to the world stage and prove himself, and he's doing it against a rugged, tough customer in Orlando Salido. Now, this is an interesting matchup, good style contrast. You got two guys who can punch a bit, two guys who are offensive minded, but just go about it in different ways. First off, Mikey Garcia, highly touted prospect. He's a contender now. He's stepping up. Good arsenal of skills, good form, good technique. He's a counter puncher, but he has a punch, and he has above average boxing skills. His boxing skills are actually pretty good. The biggest critique I have in him, his biggest flaw to me is sometimes he gives you that impression that he kind of fights down to his opposition. He takes his time. He has good composure and he's patient with his attack and how he breaks fighters down. But sometimes it could be patient, too patient to a fault. And I feel he had to start off a little quicker than he's used to when he goes in there with Salido. Now with Salido, good all around skills. He's more of like a brawler puncher. He could box somewhat. He has some type of boxing ability. He could counter punch pretty good when you're trading with him. I believe his signature punch is that right hook. He uses that very well. But he's more comfortable coming towards you, but he can't lull you in there and attack you with hooks. He's aggressive as hell, and he has a punch. So, it's a good matchup. We just looked at both of their styles. Now, as far as how the fight could play out, when you just break down the keys to victory for each fighter, let's start off with Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia, he's going to have to start out with a faster pace than what he's normally accustomed to. And that's the big question mark I know a lot of people have with Garcia. Excuse me. Will he be able to prosper when he's in there with a guy who's not letting him take his time? Will he be able to rise to the occasion or succumb to the madness that Salido's going to bring in that ring? I feel he'll rise to the occasion, but he has to do it intelligently. For one, start out a little faster. And when I mean start out a little faster, that doesn't mean you go balls to the wall aggressive. It's just Garcia, he has good form, good technique. Use that to his advantage. Salido's biggest kryptonite is just coming straight up the middle. Garcia needs to jab, triple jab, and throw the 1-2, throw the jab, right hand, pivot, move. You can stay in the front of Salido at moments. Not too long, but if you do stand in front of him, make sure you throw your punches straight, because that pushes him back and it throws off a lot of his counter punches. So if you could remember, if you could recall how Mikhail Kessler used to look in his prime, before the Kawasaki fight, the Andrade fight, how Kessler had that great 1-2, that jab, boom, right hand. That's the type of approach Garcia is going to have to use in this fight. It's the basics, but, using the basics to your full capability. Don't stand in front of Salido too long looking to exchange hooks. That's a mistake a lot of fighters do when they fight Salido. They want to stand in front of him instead of them shooting straight shots up the middle where you're going to disrupt Orlando Salido's rhythm. They want to get into this war trying to prove their manhood and slug it out. Robert Guerrero made that same mistake. He got into a slugfest early with Salido, and for all his skills and naturally bigger size and power, it didn't serve him well in that fight. He got winded, and Salido just ended up kicking his ass. And that's regardless of the no contest bullshit afterwards. I'm just talking about the actual fight. And Garcia, he doesn't want that to happen to him, so he has to be patient, composed, box correctly, shoot the 1-2 up the middle. When you do push Salido back, You don't charge him and try to stalk him recklessly, because Salido, he throws good hooks when he's stepping back. You know, he's looking for you to come in and chase him, go after him after you hurt him. So that's why, you know, you gotta do it intelligently. Shoot straight up the middle. The uppercut's a good punch on you could use on Salido, as well as hooks to the body. You know, take some wind out of him, but just do everything, you know, intelligently. Now, as far as Orlando Salido, what he needs to do: pressure, pressure, pressure. You know, to do what he naturally does. Make it a firefight. Try to fluster the younger fighter in there. Garcia needs to know this is some serious shit as soon as that first bell rings. Salido needs to take him out of his comfort zone. Do not try to make it a boxing match, and do not try to fight behind Garcia. Garcia, great counterpuncher, but the thing is, a lot of fighters allow him to do that. They let him get comfortable, and when they do try to get too aggressive, it's usually too late, because Garcia, he's firing on all cylinders and he's ready to, you know, start taking you apart, putting you away. Salido needs to go out there aggressive, make a fight out of it, and just keep Garcia backing up. Now, Garcia could fight backwards a little bit. You know, he can't counterpunch or shoot straight. But the reason why Salido wants to put all that pressure, because when you pressure certain fighters, especially young ones who are inexperienced at the world level, you could fluster them and pressure. It kind of just tells the truth in a fighter's mind state. Like, when you pressure them too good, some fighters can rise to the occasion. Others, their technique starts to drop. You know, they get mentally tired and they can't keep up. We don't know the type of fighter Garcia is in that department, because he hasn't been tested like that. So Salido needs to go and just do that. Go to the body of Garcia as well. You know, pressure him, pressure him. Garcia's defensively sound, so one form of attack, one type of punch isn't really going to do it. He has to mix it in, and Salido's good at that. He throws good uppercuts, hooks, jabs, good variety of punches, and that's what he's going to need when Garcia does try to finish him off or get too aggressive. He needs to be in there with that right hook and just check his ass a little bit. And as far as how the fight, I believe, will play out, I think it's going to be a great fight, real entertaining. Both guys are going to be throwing bombs, a lot of back and forth action. I think Garcia is going to step up early, and he's going to try to box effectively, and he will. But I think in the second half of the fight, Salido's going to kind of make it more so of his fight, and we're just going to get a classic shootout with some boxing in it, with some boxing elements. Because both guys, they top-notch boxers, you know, within their style. As for my prediction, I think Mikey Garcia, he's going to win it, but it's going to be close, and it's going to be real fucking competitive. Garcia, he's going to use his boxing ability to neutralize some of the rugged and aggressiveness of Salido. I feel he's going to just get a decision. It's going to be close. It's going to be one of those fights where I believe that people might want to see a rematch. I see Garcia just doing a little more and winning the boxing as well as some of the fighting in this matchup. So I would say Garcia by decision, like 115, 113, something like that. This is the Swag Science, HoodAllStars.com.